why your asks are so small. Not your ass. If you like a small ask, keep going for that, but why your asks are so small. So today was Zoom 1 of a 3-part series that I'm doing called Tugging Your Asks to You. And what we talked about today, many things, but one of the things that we talked about was small asks and not being willing to ask for the big things in life, whatever that might be for you. Each one of us, it's very different. What is a big ask? What is a small ask? What's a medium ask? But why you may not, now this might not be true for you, but for many people, the reason that your asks are small is because you don't want to receive the judgment. I know. I hate to be the one to break it to you, my sweet friends, but this is what happens, is that if we're not willing to receive the judgment for having it, be too much, having us be too much, wearing green lipstick and eyeshadow, having, more money than our friends have, being happier than other people, like all the things. If you're not willing to receive the judgment, you won't actually create those asks. Which then what happens is we don't usually tell ourselves that. What we do, though, is we distract ourselves with the lies and we say, oh, well, you know what? I'm not asking the big asks because I don't want to be successful, or I'm not asking the big asks because I'm not good enough, or because I'm not worthy, or because I don't deserve it, which... Let me just take a moment here, my friends. And I have a whole radio show on worthy and deserving, but please stop the lie about worthy and deserving. Please stop it. And I ask you because I lived that lie for 10 years, my friends. For 10 years, I did everything. I took every modality. I saw every counselor. I went to everything I could so that I could be worthy. Because my point of view was when I was worthy, I'd create the magical life I knew that was possible. Spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with worth or unworth or deserving or undeserving. It actually has to do with choice. And you see, I wasn't willing to choose the magical life back then. So guess what? I got to distract myself with the lie of worthiness and deserving. Those are just lies. Those are not true. Those are judgment. Because really, if you look at the person on the planet over the years who's created the least, there's people, I'm not going to name names, but we're probably all well aware of people in government that have done things. Did they deserve to breathe? Or did they just breathe? Yep. They just breathed, my sweet friends. Worthy and deserving are lies of magnitude. So if you get caught up in those lies and you distract yourself, then you're never going to choose to create the magical life you desire. You're never going to ask for what you desire. Big, little, tiny, medium, it doesn't matter. You won't do it because you're caught up in the distraction of the lie. So what's true is choice. So why your asks are so small? Because you're not willing to receive the judgment that would come with receiving everything you desire. Whew. Wowza. Everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? And return it to sender with consciousness, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. Now, what would it mean if you received the judgment? What would happen? Nothing. Nothing at all, my sweet friends. I adore you all, and nothing would happen if you received that judgment, except you would have more money and you'd live a magical life. Darn, better not do that. And I know it's so easy to talk about, guys, and it's something that I've really been choosing more and more and more of this year, the willingness to receive it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you listen to my radio show a few weeks ago, I believe it was about receiving. And I talk on there of how I've created a TikTok account and how I've been like, really dropping the barriers to receive the judgment. I did one about makeup a few weeks ago, and it was just like, there was no sound on it. It was just sped up video of me doing my makeup. And there's a lot of people who don't like it. And a lot of people who don't mind telling me how much they don't like it. And of course there's love there too, and there's kindness, but there's a lot of people who don't like it. And what I recognized in myself was just the willingness to receive it all. Like, not to make any of it significant, if they love it, if they hate it. Because none of it is significant. If I love my makeup, that's all that matters. Truly, that is all that matters. But when we go into the defense or the fighting or the proving them right or the proving them wrong, that's when it becomes where we are actually utilizing our capacities. Yeah, we're utilizing our capacities against us because we're not willing to have our reality. We're not willing to let other people have theirs, which is in this case, them not liking, the ones who don't and vocally said so, don't like my makeup, and me liking it. What if we can have different realities? Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, box, shorts, boys and beyonds. And that is the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. So you can go to theclearingstatement.com for more information about how it works. Just know it's like a magic wand, and it can start to clear the energy. Because even as I talk about receiving judgment, you might notice in your body like, or like, oh, I could never do that. But look at how much it controls you, my sweet friends. Look at where you're not willing to be you. Look at those areas of your life where you hide, where you pretend, where you maybe put a smile on your face when really you want to throat punch the person. Now, I'm not saying you should throat punch the person, okay? I'm not saying that, but I'm also not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, what else? What else? If you were truly willing to ask for and receive everything you desired, I can guarantee you one thing. You will receive judgment. There will be judgment directed at you. You got to get to the place where you say, who cares? Who cares? There's always going to be people who love you, and there's always going to be people who hate you. And if you let either of those groups or anybody in between have say over you or have your puppet strings, then you've already given your reality over to somebody else. Every time you let someone else choose for you by allowing their judgment to distract you or to impact you or to control you to choose something different. Yeah. So everything that is and everyone that you've given that power over to, will you destroy and uncreate it all and receive it now with ease and joy and glory. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, puck, shorts, boys and beyonds. Because what if truly, and I know I've said this a million times and I'll probably say it another million or billion, judgment has nothing to do with anyone except the judger. That's it. Judgment has nothing to do with anyone except the judger. Because if you go and look at that TikTok and you read all those comments, every one of them is somewhat different. So, and even if they were all the exact same comment, it wouldn't matter, but it's the person who's watching it. It's the person who's looking at your life. It's, if you were to create, I don't know, maybe a brand new house and you built it to everything you desired and you put that out there, and then if there's people on the planet who wouldn't build a house exactly like that, then chances are they'll go to judgment of you for choosing that. It's too big, it's too small, there's not enough bathrooms, there's too many bathrooms, who's going to clean it? That's a horrible color. Like, there's so many things. Let them have that. Because otherwise, all of your asks become up to the people around you. Will they like it? Will they hate it? Will they be okay with it? Will they still like you? Will they be nice to you? Like, oh my gosh, guys, haven't we done that long enough? Believe me, take it from a recovering, I don't know what, people pleaser, I guess, a recovering people pleaser. It's never enough. You cannot fold and staple and mutilate yourself enough for other people to be happy with what you're choosing. So everywhere you've tried, we destroy and uncreate it all, return to sender with consciousness. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So why are your asks so small? Because you're not willing to receive the judgments that people will direct at you for not only just asking, but also receiving the judgment, the whatever you're asking for. Because this is another thing that came up on the call today, is like, how many capacities do you have with asking and actualizing instantaneously, or they're, close to it, that possibly other people don't like? That then, once we get the sense that they don't like it, that we then stop ourselves. Yeah. So everywhere you've been a magical actualizer of magnitude, and you have not acknowledged that and asked to increase it even more, will you destroy and uncreate all that and return it to sender with consciousness? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Like, truly, what else is possible if all of the judgment on the planet was just judgment on the planet? Like, what if you didn't make it significant? What if you didn't make it personal? How much more of you would you have if what other people thought and said didn't matter? Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of energy on this, my friends. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And you can also look at, like, who are the people you're not willing to receive the judgment from. Maybe it's people, just general public on social media. It doesn't matter to you. But maybe there's a couple of close friends or family or something. Just be present with that and get curious. Like, what is that? What is that their judgment is wrong, or their judgment means something? What story have you attached? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. I often talk in foundation class about how energy is energy, and we can receive energy just like anything. It's the definition we attach to it. So if somebody's angry, we could receive that energy the same as if somebody hugged us. But it's the story we've attached. We go, oh, well, they're angry. And in my case, what I've done over the years, they're angry because of me. So then I have all this story attached. So then the anger is really difficult to even be around, let alone receive, because of what I've attached to it. But if instead we look at energy as energy with no story, yeah, how much more could you receive? Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, his awareness is that for every judgment we receive with no point of view, our income goes up by $5,000 that year. And for every judgment we're not willing to receive, our income goes down by $10,000 a year. So anytime you have to defend against or defend for a judgment, that's when you're not receiving it. So otherwise it's like nothing. It's like that hug. It's like there's nothing attached to it. So imagine your life if you were willing to receive every judgment. Yeah, imagine your bank account, my sweet friends, if you were willing to receive every judgment with no point of view. Now, I don't mean receive it and take it on and make it real and significant and all about you. That's not receiving either. That's defending for. Yeah, defending for. And if you're resisting it, you're defending against it. It's actually just like whoosh, like no point of view whatsoever. Yeah. So anywhere that's not even possible in your world, will you destroy and uncreate all that, return it to sender with consciousness? Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I'm going to go to your questions. So Raquel asks, oh, that's not a question. I love you, Raquel. She says, please do not take foundation with Glenyce Hughes as it may change your life and reality. One of the best choices I've ever made. Thank you, Raquel. I am so grateful, and I am so grateful with what you've been choosing. I'm so inspired by you, and that house by us is still for sale. So, you know, little FYI. Hello, everybody. Thank you, sweet Sherry. Oh, Kimberly says this all hits home. This is perfect timing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's been a huge, there's just been days and days of these awarenesses and judgment and receiving and all the things. So Miss Patty is loving my gorgeous boobs. How did I get so lucky? Thank you, Patty. Hi, sweet Ruby. No, you can throat punch. I'm sorry, Patty. I when I said it earlier, I was like, I just wanted to be clear. Maybe you should always check in first. Will the throat punching create more or not? Yes. Crystal receiving. Yes. Kara. Something. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Hello, sweet Kristen, who's watching. Yay. And again, guys, if you got questions, feel free to type them in. It's just a little easier for me to see on the second phone than to try to see the screen, but that's a conversation for another day. Yeah. So again, why are your asks so small? Could be, now again, this may not be for every person, just know that, but it could be that you're actually not willing to receive the judgment that would come with your asks. Like, what would be one thing that you dream of, but maybe haven't even been willing to ask for? Like, and go ahead and type it out if you feel comfortable, or just in your head, what is that thing that if you just dream about, Yeah. I saw a picture the other day, and it was of a gold jet. And I remember, probably a couple of years ago, I spoke a lot about asking for a gold private jet. Now, I was never serious in that, because it didn't show up. So I know that, but I also knew at the time I wasn't. It was more a playfulness and a really cool, wouldn't that be fun, but that had never happened type of energy. But that energy, and when I saw that, I was like, wow, isn't that interesting? Like, what was it that I played that I didn't choose it and haven't chose it yet? And not from a judgment, because if you're going to ask those questions and then go from judgment, you're not going to create what you would like. But just from a true curiosity of like, wow, what is that? And I really got that. Because a friend had said to me when I started talking about it, she gave me all her points of views about owning a private jet. And what I realized I did with that was I took them all on. Oh yeah, it would, you'd have to have somebody on standby, and you'd have to have this, like pilot, she meant. And I took them all on, even though I remember saying to her at the time, oh no, no, that wouldn't be me. I don't mind that, or whatever. I took it on. Now, she was just sharing with me. It wasn't that she was asking me to take it on, and yet I took it on. And so we got to look at that stuff too, not from making the other person right or wrong, but look at those things that you maybe just daydream about or you joke about, but you're not really choosing towards. What is that? What is that? Yeah. Get curious with it. It's a question that I would say I've used more in the last 7 or 8 months than ever before. I was listening to an old audio with Gary, and somebody said, I was returning this energy to sender, and he's like, well, ask what it is first. The second step should be return to sender if it's somebody else's, but get curious with it first. And so I really realized how much I was just returning to sender with consciousness, out of a reaction almost, instead of what is this? What is this? So if you were able to bring up an energy of something, What is that? What is that you're only daydreaming and you're not asking for? Now, asking isn't just making a list and sitting on the couch and waiting for it to show up. Asking is that, of course, and it's choosing towards. So you're asking and you're taking the action that would create it or would actualize it. Yeah. So whatever that energy is that's come up for you around what is this with the thing you're daydreaming about but you're not asking, everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all, return it to sender with consciousness, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And one of the questions that I love to run with stuff like this is, what am I refusing to ask for? That if I would ask for it, would change everything. Everything that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. What are you refusing to ask for that if you would ask for it and receive it would change everything dynamically? Yeah, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. What are you refusing to ask for that if you would ask for it and receive it would change everything dynamically? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And one of my favorite ways to ask is the energy, space, consciousness, choice question. So if you have that, if there's something that you would like, let's say it's a gold private jet, what energy, space, consciousness, choice, and now we've added a bunch more magic, miracles, mysteries, and possibilities can me and my body be to actualize a gold private jet with total ease. Anything that doesn't allow that to show up as if by magic, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So start turning those asks in, or those desires, those questions, turning them into asks with that. And you are certainly welcome. We would love to have you join us, the 3-part, the tugging your asks to you. We did Zoom number 1 today. We're going to do Zoom number 2 tomorrow, Zoom number 3 on Friday. Zoom number 3, I've asked them all to bring in money in one envelope and just paper in another and some other things to do this really cool, anyway, whatever. Won't go into that. So excited for that. And the link is somewhere, you can message me for it. So if you were willing to receive the judgment, how much more would you actualize? Yeah, 5%, 50%, 5 billion%. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah, and everywhere you've made judgment more valuable than you, will you destroy and uncreate all that and return it to sender with consciousness? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. All right. I see there's a couple more questions. I'm going to hop into my... So Shonda says, how to get rid of the judgment of a family says you are the dark, deep pit of despair, trying to get out of my judgment and head. Thanks for the day. Glad I got to see this in person. Yes, I agree with Patty. My boobs. Thanks. So it's not that you want to get rid of the judgment, because you'll never get rid of the judgment. What you want to get rid of is that you think it's wrong. Because the minute you defend against or you defend for is when you are giving that family member your puppet strings. They have control over you. So what would it be like to be like, thank you for letting me know. Oh my gosh, I totally was unaware of that. Thank you. And I mean, with no sarcasm, like truly willing to receive it. If that could make you $50,000 this year, would you be willing to receive it? Right? How much money would it take for you to be willing to receive that? 5,000, 10,000, 50, 100? I mean, really, what if we start like playing those, like having fun with it in that sense of like, okay, this is going to bring me money. So cha-ching. So what we often say, amongst Access peeps is somebody's like, oh my gosh, so-and-so judged me. And we'll be like, cha-ching, because you're going to receive money for it unless you do what you did, where you're fighting against it and you don't want them to say it and they're wrong to have said it. It just becomes a really interesting point of view. Yeah. Kara says, what would it take to receive judgment on something that is embarrassing to me? I would do the interesting point of view. I have this point of view over and over and over about the embarrassment. That's a distraction, like embarrassment, shame, that sort of stuff. It's a distraction. So if you do interesting point of view, I have this point of view over and over and over, that will probably take care of that. Yay, Susan says, wow, light bulb went off. Awesome. Yes. Kara says, oh my God, I'm sorry for the typos. I can't see what I'm typing. Can I receive judgment for my crazy comments? Absolutely, honey. Cha-ching. Hi, Wesley. Hi, Brenda. Parita. Yay. Ooh, new to me convertible is my ask. Yes, Brenda. Bring it. Bring it. How does it get any better, my sweet friends? And truly, what might we create on the planet if we never allow judgment to control us anymore? Because the other thing is, it's going to stop having the effect on us. It's going to stop, and not just on us, but then the judgers too. It'll be like, oh, that didn't do anything. Damn, now what? Yeah. Yeah. It just takes the power away. When people can say whatever they say and you just say, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Or, oh my gosh, you're right, I'm wrong. Wow, sorry about that. I did a radio show years ago and I called it the greatest manipulation you will never use. Which is exactly that. The willingness to be wrong. Because we think that we're wrong and that we can't be wrong and it's wrong to be wrong. So we have to pretend that we're right. So then if somebody says, oh, you did this, rah, 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 rather than saying, oh my gosh, you're right, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and just diffusing the situation, we fight, which then makes more of that defense energy. Whew. So everywhere you have to be wrong. Everywhere you have to be right to prove you're not wrong, while thinking how wrong you are and judging how wrong you are, will you just destroy and uncreate all that crazy? Right, wrong, good, bad, online, fuck, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yes. And Kara says, thank you for interesting point of view. Such a great tool. Felt my whole body relax when you mentioned not allowing the judgments to control me. Absolutely, guys. Because that's all we're doing. When we are spinning in something that somebody said, we're allowing that person and that whatever information to control us. The other thing is, guys, we're infinitely aware, which means they don't even have to say it. We're aware of them thinking it. Yeah. So what if you could receive it? What if you could receive it all? Be aware of it. Don't shut your awareness down to it, but receive it. Be like, cool. They think I'm crazy. They think green lipstick is crazy. How much money can that make me? I freaking love it. And there's going to be people who don't, and I'm okay with that. There's going to be people who wear makeup that I don't think is cool. I'm okay with that. And so it just becomes where we just have so much more allowance for ourselves, which means then we're going to be willing to ask way bigger and receive way bigger. Right, wrong, good, bad, online, fuck, shorts, boys, and beyonds. It really is about just allowing the judgment with no point of view, not making it right, not making it wrong. And then you have choice. And then you can ask for what you would like. And you can take action on receiving it because you won't have a point of view about receiving it. You will be like, cool, there's going to be people who come and play with me because I received it. And there's going to be people who leave because I received it. And not always. I don't mean every time. And sometimes. And so none of it is right or wrong. It's the power that we give over to it. And the power that we then give over of ours. When we say, oh, what does this person think? What's this person going to say? You know, there's a thing on like a meme or a quote or whatever. It says, the you know, what will other people say is the number one dream killer. And it's true. It was not just the saying of it, but, you know, the people who ask that, like, what would people say? You're going to guarantee not to then choose what you would like to choose. You're not going to create what you'd like to create because you're too concerned with what other people might say, which means you're handing them your potency. You're handing them your puppet strings, and now you're going to dance for them. So everywhere we've done that, we just turn and create it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, PUD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Just so for anybody, I'm looking at the comments here. So Kara says, can you remind of what I can do to allow what I'm asking for, especially when I feel like I've asked for it for some time? So I would get really clear with stuff. Like if you feel like you've been asking for it and it hasn't shown up in a short period of time, because we're all pretty much that magical, depending on the thing, is just check in if it's really yours. Are you truly asking? Are you taking the action? You know, there's so many pieces to that. That you can just check in and just check. Number one would be check in that it's still yours, still something you desire. Check in what points of views might be there, clear those. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Thank you for coming to play again. I adore you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, if you would like to come and play with tugging your asks to you, we have done number one, but there's still 2 and 3 to do. And it's all about the need and tug, which is a concept from Access Consciousness, which where you desire something and you energetically tug it to you through your desire. Yeah, the link is above or below or somewhere. And of course, you can message me for the link also. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful for you all, and I look forward to playing again soon. Bye, guys.